Good morning. Jason Cooper here with you on Flint's News Talk 1470 WFNT. Glad to be with you today. A lot of things to talk about today. A little bit later on, we'll have an expert from the Heritage Foundation talking about the Affordable Care Act and some of the problems still after the implementation of it. We'll also talk some local news and state news items. But first, joining me in the studio right now, we've got a guest with us, Amy McMillan. She's director over at Genesee County Parks. Amy, thanks for taking the time to talk to us today. Welcome back to the program.
Thank you for inviting me.
Yeah, now, what's going on over at Genesee County Parks? I know we're in December, but a lot of things still happening with the park system.
Oh, are you kidding me? We are crazy busy at this time of year. Of course, Christmas at Crossroads opened last week on Friday night, so we are open on weekends through the holiday, and then between the holiday and New Year's, we're open that whole week. But the village is covered in thousands and thousands of gorgeous lights and beautiful Christmas displays. And, of course, the Huckleberry Railroad is back on the tracks. We are very excited that our caboose has joined the train again. It spent a little over a year undergoing a complete restoration, top to bottom, inside and out. And let me tell you.
How'd it turn out?
Oh, it's gorgeous.
Okay.
Absolutely phenomenally gorgeous. So it's back on the tracks, and people are very excited to see it again. And then, of course, Monday nights are drive-through nights only at Crossroads Village. It's the only time of the year when you can drive through the village. It's only $5 a car, and all of the lights are on. And it's great for people who have a hard time being out in the cold or might not be able to, to get around really easily. So the village is just crazy busy. Santa is there until Christmas, of course, to take all the wishes of the boys and girls. And it's a phenomenal time. The carousel horses are decked out in their holiday finest. It's perfect.
And you also have an upcoming holiday walk over at Formar.
Absolutely. We have our annual holiday walk at Formar Nature Preserve and Arboretum, which is located right in Burton on Genesee Road and Davison. It's 380 acres of just phenomenally beautiful natural land. We have the Nature Preserve on one side and the Arboretum on the other. Our holiday walk is December 12th and 13th. The staff just go all out. It's a beautiful time of the year to be at Formar. You just bundle up a little bit extra, and the holiday walk program is free. There are all kinds of activities for families. You definitely want to put it on your to-do list.
Well, it sounds like some great events coming up, and we'll make sure to get those posted on our events calendar at WFNT.com. A lot of these, some of these things are free, such as the Formar Holiday Walk. That's next week, the 12th and the 13th. We'll make sure to get that information up there. Now, I want to talk a little bit. We're coming to an end in 2013. How did 2013 turn out for the park system?
2013 was a really good year for us. We have a little bit of the, is it triskaidekaphobia? The fear of the number 13. But it has been a really good year for us. We had just a really great season overall. Our attendance has been up at Crossroads Village each year for the last several years, including this year. Of course, we were tremendously grateful that the C.S. Mott Foundation awarded us another grant this year that keeps all of our doors open. So that was wonderful. It was $1.8 million to fill a gap in our budget created by the drop in property values and its impact on the park's millage. We had great attendance at Wolverine Campground all year long. The Mounds is having a great year. And, of course, the Warrior Dash returned in 2013 and signed a 2-year contract. So we already know they'll be back in 2014. The Color Vibe that did its first appearance at the E.A. Cummings Event Center this year has already signed up for 2014.
That's great.
So all kinds of great things going on.
That's the last time we talked, when the Mounds reopened or the renovations were completed with the Mounds. And then I actually got to participate in the Warrior Dash and survived it and looking forward to doing it again next year.
Excellent. What was your favorite part of the Warrior Dash?
Oh God, it was actually probably the running versus the obstacles, being in the trails and not being in the direct sunlight, and being able to get a breeze. But when I jumped in the water, it seemed like it took everything out of me.
Oh, I'll bet.
And
Yeah.
and then climbing up over the obstacle at the end, and then jumping over the fire logs, and just feeling a real sense of accomplishment. And I know those events are gaining in popularity, and so I got to imagine that the numbers that you guys saw this year with the Warrior Dash and having them already signed on for 2014 is a great thing.
It is a great thing, and the one of the other, or in addition to the spectacle of the Warrior Dash, and
Right.
it is a spectacle with everybody in their costumes and all the mud and slime and fire. That event generates over $5 million of economic impact in Genesee County. People travel from 44 states. We had 3 foreign countries represented last year. They stay in hotels, they eat in restaurants, they fill up their cars with gas, they camp at the campgrounds. And so it's just this tremendous experience for the whole county. And the attention that's brought to the E.A. Cummings Event Center has really helped build our business there, and every other event that comes brings with it its own economic impact, and it's this whole great circle of really positive things happening for the county parks and for all of Genesee County.
Well, since we're talking about 2014 and some of the great events that you had this year that have already signed on for next year, such as the Warrior Dash and the Color Vibe runs, what are you planning right now for 2014? Or have you already completed that process, or is it still ongoing, continually ongoing?
Well, there's always ongoing planning. So I know we just, I don't know, if, a couple of months ago we signed a new event for the E.A. Cummings Event Center. The Foam Fest is coming.
I think I've heard about
and
those.
That's going to be just a total blast. And they're working with us on bringing actually a second event to the Cummings Event Center in June. The various horse shows, the 4-H kids have already signed up for their horse shows and achievement days during the summer. We are working on our program schedule for 2014, and that'll be done around the end of January. So,
Okay.
We have about somewhere between 1,000 and 1,200 recreation programs all summer long in the parks. And so Nancy Edwards is in the process of putting those all together, and the Family Fun Guide will come out early in the spring that lists all of those. And it's just, it's a crazy busy time of year for us.
Well, it's good to hear that even in December you're still working so hard to finish up the year on a strong note with all the holiday events that you have going on over there, and then also planning ahead for 2014. And it sounds like the events calendar is really growing with things that you have happening over there.
It is. We concentrate a lot of our efforts on our business because, more than about half of our budget is earned income. So if we're not doing a good job with our business operations, we can't support all of the other things that we offer at no cost to county residents. And so it is. It's a very exciting time of the year. And of course we have, I'm not a big cold weather person. I'm not that fond of snow, but we have people who are just, sitting on the edge of their seats waiting for it to snow so they can go out and snowmobile in the parks and
Sure.
cross-country ski in the parks. And people will be, waiting for midnight to roll, or 8 o'clock in the morning to roll around on the 2nd of January so they can make their campground reservations for the summer and their pavilion registrations for the summer. So it's a lot of times people will say, well, it's, you don't have to mow grass anymore. What are you doing? It's like, are you kidding me? We're absolutely as busy during the off season as we are during the height of summer.
And I remember you telling me a little bit about the budget, and you guys operate at a fairly significant budget. What are the budget numbers that you guys plan throughout the year?
Sure. Well, we are the largest county park system in the state of Michigan. We have 11,000 acres, and our budget is only $8.3 million.
Okay.
So to kind of give you a comparison, Oakland County Parks has less than half the property we have, and their budget's $23 million.
Wow.
So we work on really tightly. We have amazing community partners. The C.S. Mott Foundation is, of course, at the top of the list, but the Ruth Mott Foundation, the Community Foundation, the Sarah Foundation, the Friends of Formar, the Merkley Trust, I could go on and on. And the other thing that is just, so tremendously valuable to us is we have volunteers who spend over 18,000 hours of their time every year in the Genesee County parks. And the value of that is well in excess of $500,000 each year. So, the folks at Crossroads Village who volunteer in the houses and the carousel, and the master gardeners who do such a phenomenal job, and our volunteers at Formar, the people who participate in our Adopt a Park program, they're all, it takes all of those pieces of the puzzle fitting together exactly right to make it work.
Well, your enthusiasm is great, and got to make sure to spend some more time in the Genesee County Park system next year. One of the reasons we're here today, too, is to talk about the citizen survey, and you're asking for residents of Genesee County for their help in planning for the future of the parks. If you could tell our listeners a little bit about that.
Sure. Well, we have been working on updating our 5-year plan for, the last 6 months or so, and part of that is gathering citizen input.
Okay.
So there are, a few weeks ago, we put into the field a survey, a statistically valid survey, and people got an envelope at home with that in it, and asked them to fill it out and send it back to our surveying company with their answers, so that we would have, we'd make sure that we had. We asked the same number of people in every county commission district those questions, so everybody had the same opportunity, and we'd get a good result, and we could tie it back to the validity of that survey. And we've also made sure that every Genesee County resident has the opportunity to have their voice heard. And a couple weeks ago, we put up a link on our website. We sent it out to everybody in our databases, and we want to remind people, because that survey is only live through Monday, to go to our website, click on the link, and go through the survey. It's going to take you about 10 or 15 minutes to complete, but we really want to know what is the most important thing to people. What is it that we do that's most important, and if we can do more, what is the first thing on everyone's priority list that gets done?
What are some of the other questions that people are asked besides being priorities and maybe likes? Do you talk about, other events that you might be able to bring and that people could suggest?
Well, we really concentrate on the parks themselves.
Okay.
And so, we ask people questions about how often they use the parks, what are the things they like most about our programs.
Sure.
For example, do they find that, do they like the content best? Do they like the instructors best? We ask how they, what other places they use for recreation opportunities, so we can help to see if we can partner with other organizations in ways that will help expand folks' needs. But it's really concentrated on the parks, and kind of looking forward to see what people need, what's missing, and as well as what we're doing really well and what we need to do better.
Now you said a lot of copies went out through mail, randomly selected Genesee County residents. Do you know off the top of your head how many were sent out, besides how many you're hoping to get over at the website? And we'll put a link to this up on our page as well.
I'm trying to remember the number. I want to say I can't remember the number. To
That's
be perfectly
okay.
honest with you, but it was hundreds and hundreds of those
Sure.
that were sent out, and we received a grant earlier this summer to pay for this process, so it's not coming out of general funds that could be used for something else, and in doing that 5-year plan is also really important for us to remain eligible to apply for grants from the state in the future. Because if you don't have a 5-year plan approved and on file with the Department of Natural Resources, you're not eligible for the grants that they administer.
Also, it's definitely important to have a 5-year plan in place in order to continue getting assistance from the DNR.
Exactly. And one of the things we did this year that was different, and we're the only place in the entire state of Michigan that's done this, is we've asked all of the local units of government in Genesee County, so the cities and the townships and the villages, if they would like to opt in to our 5-year plan so
Okay.
that we can demonstrate, bigger and better cooperation and collaboration, and that will make it it'll sort of gain some extra points in the competitive grant process for each of us going forward. So we're pretty excited about that. A bunch of communities have already signed on, and others have indicated that they're going to. So it's been a really, really good experience for us.
All right, Amy McMillan, she's director over at Genesee County Parks. They have a lot of things happening, even though it's December 5th. And they're also asking for your input to help with the future planning of the Genesee County Park system. You can go and take the survey online over at their website, GeneseeCountyParks.org. We'll put that information up at WFNT.com. Only takes about 10 or 15 minutes, and it's going through Monday. Is that correct?
Yes, it is.
It'll be live through Monday, and then also we'll get the information up there about all the events, such as Christmas at Crossroads Holiday Magic, and the drive-through only nights, as well as Four Mars Holiday Walk that's taking place next week. Amy, thanks for taking the time to come in and talk to us today, and look forward to our next conversation.
Thank you.
All right. We got to take a quick break, but when we come back, more conversations with Jason Cooper on Flint's News Talk 1470 WFNT.